the railroad strike of 1877. It happened in July of 1877. After pay cuts and people were laid off, workers went on strike. They ripped up railroad tracks in the hope that ripping up railroad tracks, they would be able to keep their jobs because they'd have to be rehired to put down more railroad track. They also destroyed other railroad property. They sent in the troops. They sent in the cavalry to restore order, thinking that just by having them there, the people would stop. Many workers from the railroad company lost their lives. Moving on, Haymarket Riot of 1886. 4 striking workers of the McCormick Harvester were killed in a demonstration in Chicago. This led to other strikers meeting to fight against the killings. Police ordered the strikers to break up. So the police are called in. Someone throws a bomb and 7 police officers are killed. And that's them in that picture above. So now we've killed 7 police officers. Police officers are killed. So people are going to want payment for this. 8 men are charged with the crime. All right? August Spies, Albert Parsons, Adolf Fischer, George Engel, Louis Ling, Michael Schwab, Sal Felden, and Oscar Neebe. After the Haymarket, people began associating unions with terrorism. So we have all of these riots, okay? We have all these issues. You're a worker. You've been laid off of work. Your wages have been cut. You want to stand up. You join this union because they told you they would help you with job security and with payment. Become part of the union. You strike. You fight for what's right. People start dying. And now everything is associated with unions is terrible. Here we go again. Homestead Strike of 1892. Remember Andrew Carnegie? He was the steel guy. At his steel plant in Pennsylvania, wages are cut in an attempt to reduce the strength of the union. So Carnegie thought if he reduced money, it would make people not want to be part of the union, and this way that people would say, wait a second, I'm not losing my money just because I'm going to be part of this union. It backfired. The workers ended up going on strike. So Andrew Carnegie brought in non-union workers to take the strikers' jobs. Sometimes they're referred to as scabs. This is not going to go over well. Carnegie also brings in 300 armed guards to make sure that the non-union workers get into the factory safely, kind of as cover, security. Strikers protested and battled the guards. 13 people were killed. Again, not a very good association. Pullman Strike of 1894. Everyone remember George Pullman? George Pullman made the sleeper car. So, here we are again. Pullman cuts the wages, workers go on strike. I hope you're seeing a pattern here. Pullman closed his plant. Other rail workers went on strike, refusing to handle any trains with Pullman cars. America became paralyzed. Mail was not being delivered because of Pullman, because of his association with the different train companies. Goods were not being shipped because of their association with Pullman. Railroad owners got Attorney General Richard Olney to obtain an injunction, which means a stopping. He stopped the union from striking because they were obstructing the railroads and the mail, is how he worded it. Meet Eugene V. Debs. He's the union leader. He's going to be jailed many times. He's also going to run for president many times and not win, obviously, because most of you probably have never heard of him. President Grover Cleveland sent in the army to the Pullman plant. They forced the strikers to go back to work. In a month, the strike was over. Because of the violence associated with these strikes, the labor movement suffered a huge loss of support from many Americans. They were disgusted by what was happening.